Now, knowing you personally and knowing, your love of the sport of hockey,
Right.
and also being someone personally that has seen, just as you have, the growth of this sport in this area. Talk about other things besides just fixing sticks that you do in your way to assist the Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania hockey community.
Well, we like to try, we try our best. When I say we, I'm trying to talk about Bottle Knocker Hockey, but I'm mainly talking about me and my wife. Because in the amount of time that my wife and I have spent in this area, we've really taken our love for the game of hockey, not so much just the love of Pittsburgh Penguins, but the love of the game of hockey as a whole, and tried to use Bottle Knocker for a means to give back. We've donated money and materials, and by materials I mean water bottles, puck bags, tape, all the little things that parents love, parents need, to be honest with you. Because what parent doesn't love to get free hockey tape? That actually adds up to be a massive expense during the year. Same thing with puck bags. Parents spend lots of money on this kind of stuff, these little trinket items that people normally take for granted. But in reality, players lose them, they get ripped up during the year. You spend a lot of money on this kind of junk over the course of the whole season. Same thing with water bottles. Parents, they find them, they spend a good $5 on these things at Dick's or at another retail outlet. Why not? We just print on them and give them away for free. Why not? You fix a stick with us, we give you a water bottle. Sure thing. Gets our name out there. Parent gets a water bottle. Why not? We gave away t-shirts at one point. Who doesn't love a free t-shirt? We're all about that. Same thing with youth hockey tournaments. We're all about giving away sometimes financial donations to youth hockey tournaments. That way they get the financial aid that they can use towards rink fees, paying vendors, buying supplies, that kind of thing. And then we get our name out there as well. So it's a win-win situation for both the organization and for us as a whole.
How long has Bottle Knocker Hockey been around?
We've only been around for about 2 years now. I'd say about 2 years because we just had our 1 year anniversary this past April. So we're probably in I'd say about 1 year and about 9 months worth of the second year. So we're fairly young. We're only about a little under 2 years old, but we're just in that stage where we're so young and so hungry for more that we really wanted to take off. We really wanted to just go further, just get out there more. We want more people to realize that there is another option besides just buying a new stick. Now, we're not deterring people from buying new sticks. Trust me, as a hockey player, I love buying new sticks. Every kid, every player loves buying a new stick. We really do. But it's just another option. That's all it is. Whether it gets you by until you want that new stick to come around, or it's just, hey, I have a backup. It's just it's just an option.
Well, and you've discussed with me earlier about this, is that a lot of times hockey players, when they find that stick that has that feel, and they're having that good season, and I hate to get a melodramatic, but in the natural, when you have Wonder Boy, you're having a great year. When it breaks, instead of saying, well, I guess I'm done, and again, love hockey players, but I've actually dealt with Penguins and other. They're the most superstitious people in the world.
That's right.
To say that, we can actually make it that you had a game on Monday, buy a game on Thursday or Friday. We could have that stick back to you so you could continue to use it. A great service.
You know what? And we've done that because, you bring up a good point. We've had players like that. For example, this is a prime example. One team that we service exclusively is Pitt Hockey, the University of Pittsburgh Hockey Club. We service their players and we donate to their team. And we donated to them in the course of financially, which in turn, their, thank you to us was they printed our logo on their pucks, on their game pucks. So now every single Pitt game puck says Bottle Knocker Hockey on it. The other cool thing about that was they actively tell their players, hey, you break that favorite stick of yours, give it to one of our coaches, and then he makes the call, hey, I got 4 or 5 sticks for you guys. When we arrange a pickup and we get those sticks back to those guys, as soon as possible because they are as superstitious, just like you said. They want those things back right away just because they're that picky. They don't want to go and get another brand. Hockey players are just like, they're just as superstitious, if not more superstitious, than any other sport. They like their brands. They're very brand specific. They'll go 200 miles outside their way, drive 4 hours out of state just to go to a specific store at the certain time to get their skates done, to buy a brand of tape, and to go to a certain shop just to make sure that they get what they need.
Now, you have a special relationship with Pitt Hockey.
Right.
You sponsor them, everything like that. Would you consider if a local high school team or another local college team or anything like that going into the same direction, doing the same thing?
Absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, these are the kind of relationships that we want to have because these are the ones that, like I said, they develop player bonds. They create a special, a special bond between the player and even a company like us, where we want that to happen. That's like a hockey community kind of thing, And it's like I tell guys. I've said this to players at adult leagues and stuff like that. Sooner or later, we're all going to play with each other or against each other. So there's no point in being enemies at any level. So you might as well just all be friends now.